If those words are true, then that is a pretty clear calling. I think it's sort of like when Mother Teresa said when she first got off the train in Calcutta and she was walking past a man who was lying there dying, that she knew then, if she didn't do something then, she would never do it. Mm-hmm. If she stepped over that first person, she would never do the next one. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's very similar here. 2 years ago, after morning mass, I felt a strong calling from the Lord to do something because Ohio was predicted to have a colder winter than it's had in about 30 years. I think they said at that point, right?
-8 degrees, wind chill into the -30s, and people living out on the streets in that.
Teenage girls came in. Their own mother was a prostitute, shot them up with heroin, so they would go and work the streets to be able to get her heroin money. That's a hell. That's not those two girls choosing their lifestyle. And there are so many souls down here like that.
The thing I've realized is when people ask, what do we do? Basically, this is our house, this is our family, and we welcome you into our house. And that's it. I mean, if you're hungry, we'll feed you. If your clothing is inadequate, or you don't have a place to stay, or we'll talk to you about that. If you're struggling with something, we'll talk to you about it. But it's just being a family, and in one way, I feel like all we are is being a Christian family.
This isn't about a social service. This is not a government. This is not another agency. This is a vocation, a calling, a way of life to serve the poorest of the poor within our own communities.
We were immediately struck when we opened the warming center how significant the need was, how many people were living in just really bad, horrible conditions.
Unless you are really here on a day-to-day basis and really see the suffering firsthand, see the person coming through the door in DTs and dying, having to call ambulances, having people ODing. Those are grace-filled moments that I don't think that there is a school or training for. I believe in building relationships with people. That is how we change people. That is how, well, we don't change anybody. That's how Christ changes people.
Way bigger than us.
That so many times I think it's easy to get caught in the trap of numbers and being able to show a big display of generosity. When in fact it's in the ordinary. It's in the ordinary relationships. It's in the building of a relationship with somebody. I know when some of the women who work in prostitution, about a year ago, one of them left. She came back in and she popped her head in the door and she said, "Goodbye, Molly, I love you, and I pray for you every night." It made me weep to realize this person whose life is hell, for her to take one split second and pray for me, that is very humbling. And I am very, very grateful.
Who is this God that the least of his people are so important to him that he would judge everybody on how they treated the least of his people? Like it don't matter whether you're a king or wealthy or famous, you will all be judged. Everybody will be judged on how you treat the least of his people. And that's how important the least are to him. And I'm like, who is this God? That was my first real encounter of the divine, was that.
And that's what I think has led us to where we are. When we have to do something, what he commands us to do.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm Bo, and this is a great place, and I gotta go. see y'all.
Okay, we'll see you,
Check on
Bob.
my phone, Bo?